Alright, welcome back to another Tesla FSD video. This time we're going to do it a little different. We're going to let the Tesla take the highway, try and get back to where we need to go as quick as can. And it kind of shows off the current situation of the transition from Tesla's self-driving software and the kind of older software of Navigate on Autopilot, which is what Tesla currently uses when on highways. They're currently in the process of merging the two. The next patch, the next version should be what's known as the full stack, which is the removal of Navigate on Autopilot and utilizing FSD for both highway and off highway. So we come up to a stop sign here. Tesla needs to make a right here. It's being extra cautious, which is good. It's kind of a blind turn here on the left, so it's really not getting a lot of lead time on cars coming, but it's still good. You can see it's inching up to see more. Still cars coming. Should be a gap here. Yeah, off it does. Needs to get all the way in the left-hand turn lane. And look at that. Did great.
Now turn left onto Industrial Avenue.
So in the last video, right as I was about to reach my destination, my camera setup hit a snag and did a camera overheat warning and shut down. So I'll have to look up and kind of solve that moving forward. It looks to be that I'll either have to drop resolution or drop frames. Right now I'm doing 4K 60 for my footage. So I'll probably drop the frames as others have suggested, because a lot of my videos are sped up. And what's more important is kind of seeing everything over it being kind of smooth for the viewer. But if you have some input on the situation, it's a GoPro 10, so if you've had similar situations or a solution, yeah, just let me know. I'd really appreciate it. All right, left-hand turn complete. It does need to get to the right-hand lane to make a turn here. Luckily, there's a couple of them. Yeah, okay, perfect. Next situation for it is that it is going to have to move over to the far right hand lane so that it can get onto the on-ramp for the highway. See how it handles that. You can see that its blue marker is coming up. It is starting to look for that free space. We'll see if it gets it or if I'm going to have to be more aggressive than it wants to be to get in the other lane. So here it goes. It should start to, yeah, its turn signal goes on. See if anybody kind of lets us in. If it finds a gap on its own. Looks like it found one. Yes, perfect. Well done. So here it's gonna have to get on the on-ramp for the highway. Turn signal on. Perfect. So what you're going to see as it merges onto the highway is a transition in kind of the display here. This sort of red line, yellow line, blue line detailed map is what's known as full self-driving, the FSD beta, which you've been watching this whole time. It's going to transition to the older software. Like I said, the Navigate on Autopilot. It's a pretty drastic change. You should be able to notice it pretty easily. Right now, it just needs to merge properly onto the highway. Running out of lane here. Oh. Gonna take over there. I tried to switch 2 lanes at a time. I wasn't happy with that, so I took over. So it's gonna get into the left lane. You can see here how the display completely changed. Makes this lane change and off we go. So anytime I intervene with something like that, that's when kind of that information, that quote-unquote snapshot, will be sent up to Tesla via over-the-air updates, and they'll read that data, see what the issue is, possible fixes. It is potential that I took over too quickly. I did quickly look around to make sure that it was safe to do it. I wasn't personally comfortable with it, so I took over. It did look like it was trying to change multiple lanes at once. Just me as a driver, I don't like doing that on the highway, so not so comfortable with FSD doing it yet. But we're carrying on. We're gonna have to get off here soonish, and I picked the one that really goes through downtown sections of Ottawa here. More complexity, more people, more stoplights. We'll see how it handles that. So again, I am very much looking forward to the quote-unquote full stack, kind of this removal of this old software, navigate on autopilot. I find that the FSD is much better. Should be this year, 2022 at the end is what they're saying for. Tesla's notorious for delays, so we'll see what happens there. Either way, I'm excited to see how it pans out. So with the navigate on autopilot, it more focuses around on what I would deem a adaptive cruise control. It will switch lanes back and forth on its own, no problem, as you've seen. But it more is an adaptive cruise control. It'll read the distance between the car in front of us and kind of keep that distance, read speeds. If traffic slows down too much, it's funny, it kind of has a mind of its own, and it feels like it gets frustrated, and it'll switch lanes. Like right here, you can tell that it doesn't like the speed going on here. It'll switch lanes. Thankfully, the car behind us let us in. Change lane complete, no issues. Just switching over, back. It's registering that within 2 kilometers we're going to have to make a turn here. And it's kind of setting itself up for that. Again, same thing with the navigate on autopilot. It's going to prompt me, as you've seen, to kind of touch the steering wheel or manipulate it, the knobs at some point, just to let the system know that I am still here and that it can carry on forward safely. You can see that car merged in. Tesla didn't like that. It slowed down. It kept control. I let it do its thing, but yeah, it definitely slowed down a bunch for that car to see what it was going to do next. So Tesla missed its turn. It's going to have to recalculate it now. You can see now. Yeah, I'm going to get off at this exit now.
Now take
So again, like it transitioned before, now it's going to transition back. There, you just saw it. So now it's the more detailed full self-driving. So we're no longer on the old Navigate on Autopilot. We are on the most latest patch of full self-driving FSD beta.
Now turn right onto Kirkwood Avenue.
A little bit of confusion on what it wants to do here, but you know, it's figuring it out. Now it's at a light here. You can see how it's put up on the display. It's what's known as the creep wall. So it'll go up to that wall as it feels comfortable, and then it'll progress once it is safe. So just like a human would do when you get to a light like this or a stop sign, you would stop at the stop line, or you're supposed to, and then kind of creep forward and then move through the turn like that. So the Tesla's trying to replicate that. It does a pretty good job. The creep, quote-unquote creep wall is fairly new as far as software patches wise, and it so far I've been very satisfied with it. So a different route than we planned, but that's okay as long as it gets us there safe. Really, in the end, that's what matters. I try and put myself in kind of future looking into a potential robo-taxi service, driverless taxi, if you will, and how it would handle certain situations. So if I was sitting in the back seat right now on a cab and it, for whatever reason, missed the turn, didn't feel it was safe, couldn't merge for whatever reason, you know, you want it to recalculate, which the Tesla has done. So right there we had a speed bump, another new addition to the full self-driving software is it'll recognize you know, speed bumps and slow down accordingly. So it's good to see that it does that now. Should be making a right turn here coming up. Yeah. Slowing down, make your turn. Nicely done.
In 200 meters, turn left onto Island Park Drive.
So it's going to make a left turn here, and unless they've removed it recently, they kind of have the slow down safety markers on either side of your lane. And for whatever reason, the Tesla really gets confused with it. Not confused in the sense that it's going to stop, it doesn't know what to do, but it really, I find, overly slows down for them. So we'll see. Usually I'll let it go if there's nobody behind me, but if there is, then I'll probably give it some input with the gas pedal to coax it to move forward through. So this could be an interesting scenario potentially. We have a crosswalk person with a stop sign. I don't think it's going to stop for them. It did. Oh. Well done, Tesla. You can see how they're blue. It's prioritizing them. Should be clear now. Giving it a little prompt. Yeah, you're good. And away we go. Okay, so they did remove those safety signs, so that's good. I don't have to worry about coming this way and doing the slow start thing. That's good. So with the newest patch that we got, last 2 patches, it's really pushed pedestrian recognition and safety overall out. It was a little looser before, which is understandable because it was a invite only. Now that we are fully inviting anybody within the FSD beta who's purchased the service and opted in, you know, that's kind of what I want to see, is then prioritize safety as more and more cars come online to do this. So that scenario was very interesting to watch play out here. As you could see, there was no chance. I was never worried that it was gonna, you know, not stop for a human being, but I was interested to see if it was going to register this person and you know, completely stop the turn at the light, which it did, and it did very well. So pretty impressive, I gotta say. So we're coming up on the transition here from Ontario to Quebec in Canada here. And there's no issue usually going across borders. Here in Ontario, the traffic lights are vertical. Quebec likes to do horizontal. No issue whatsoever. I'd say the only problem that I've really noticed so far is Quebec has a lot, or I've noticed that they have a lot of speed signs that are time-based. So during whatever hours from this hour to that hour, you know, can't use this lane or have to go that speed. The Tesla can't read that yet. It'll do basic, you know, speedometer signs. As you see here, it just went from a 40 to a 60. It saw that sign, no problem. So we'll go 60. But in those more specific scenarios of can't go this fast during these hours, can't be in this lane during these hours, it won't do that. The one it'll definitely not do is the no right turn on red. It doesn't know what that is yet. Obviously they'll update it with future patches, but right now it will try to turn right on red. If anybody's used to kind of Quebec, you know that there is a lot of not turn right on reds. Alright, light turned green, we're carrying on. There is one of those time-based lanes here on this bridge. You can see coming up, you know, lanes are closed, lanes are open during certain time. See how it navigates that. Should just stay in the right-hand lane, hopefully, and that's what it's gonna do. You can see here that it is registering one lane as a red, so for sure it's going to know not to go on oncoming traffic. I think if I ever wanted it to actually go in this green lane, I would have to put an input into it and select the lane change on the stock here, and it would complete it. But you know, for the sake of this video, I'm just trying to be as least hands-off as just possible, minus those obviously checks to make sure I'm still here, and to truly see what FSD will do in all these scenarios. So there's the sign right there on the bridge, if you guys can read, that's Quebec. We officially have crossed the border. We are in Quebec now. No issues. So it has decided to stop behind this guy, which is, in my point, the right call to make here as the roads are busy. We can see a lot of cars behind us kind of going around to proceed forward. We're trying to go forward. This guy's trying to turn. He has a red light, can't turn. Car stopped behind him. To me, that is the correct call. That is the safe call to do for FSD to make, instead of overcomplicating it, trying to go around and navigate. So we have a green. This guy's going to make his left. We should go straight. Yeah, well done. Should be a left-hand turn coming up.
Now turn left.
Good job. Gets in the correct lane. This is one of those scenarios where the right lane, I don't know if you saw it, but the right lane is a carpool lane during certain hours. So you have to have 3 passengers within the certain time frame to use this lane moving forward. All right, you can see a takeover immediately there. Didn't like it for some reason. We took over. Carrying on. So that's an intervention for sure with FSD. Not sure what I didn't like there, honestly. Again, good time to point out that this is a beta. This isn't a final product. Every subsequent patch, you know, you get better and better, but that's why we do these things. So complex situation coming up, a lot of construction, a lot of people merging. See how it handles it here on the flip side of the drive. Sometimes in situations like this, it'll get impatient and think that the other lane is an open lane. So it might want to get over. I don't think it's going to do it this time. Yeah, you can see it's already registering the cones. Nice and slow, taking it slow, no worries. It's probably gonna want more of an input on my end with the steering wheel. Yeah, there it is. Okay, off she goes. Now it needs to get back up to speed, so we ran it into this problem the last time. There's no sign to tell it that the construction is over. So the next speed sign is right up here, but until it reaches that sign, it's still under the impression that we are at construction speed. So with that speed sign coming up here, again, it was thinking 35. I've put it to 60. Speed sign 70. It should update right now. Boom, there it is. So 70. So now we're good. So I don't know how to kind of solve that moving forward. It is best to stay at construction speed until told otherwise. I would think that's the best, safest way to do it. So maybe regulation might come in that if you are going to have construction, that you also require a construction ends or a speed sign for the future of self-driving to kind of be able to handle that. So we're coming up to our destination soon, end of the video. It's a good time to, I guess, remind you guys that I really do care what you guys think about these videos and what you want to see moving forward. Do you prefer this style video? Do you prefer the kind of sped up ones with the nice music? Do you prefer some sort of combination? Yeah, let me know what you think. But other than that, I mean, thanks for watching, as always. Really appreciate it. Like and subscribe. That way you get the notifications for new videos, new drives that I do. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. We're going to make this turn, and that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Thanks a lot. Bye.